Hi guys, today I'm going to go over the free response from the 2010 exam, the Form B, number 2. It has to do with sampling. So just reading the question, it says, in response to nutrition concerns raised last year about food served in school cafeterias, the Smallville School District entered into a one-year contract with the Healthy Alternative Meals Company. Under this contract, the company planned to prepare meals for 2,500 elementary, middle, and high school students with a focus on good nutrition. The school administration would like to survey the students in the district to estimate the proportion of students who are satisfied with the food under this contract. 2 sampling plans for selecting the students to be surveyed are under consideration by the administration. One plan is to take a simple random sample of students in the district and then survey those students. The other is to take a stratified random sample of students in the district and survey those students. So part A says, describe a simple random sampling procedure that the administrators could use to select 200 students from the 2,500 in the district. So simple random sample, just as a reminder, it's equivalent of taking everyone's names and throwing them in a hat. So if they ever ask you to describe how you could get a random sample, there's always 3 things you're going to want to include. Okay, and I'll go over those in the solution. So here's my solution to part A. First thing is you want a number. So I put number the students from 1 to 2,500. And then if you're just describing how to do it, you could say you could either use the calculator or the random digit table. So I said then use a random digit table or a calculator to select 200 numbers, because that's how many you want in the sample. Ignore repeats, and then those will be the 200 students in the sample. So the second thing to talk about is what you're going to then use, the random digit table or the calculator, and then just remember that fact that you want to ignore repeats, because if you pick the same number twice, you can't pick that person twice for your sample. So that's part A. Let's go on to part B. So part B says, if a stratified random sampling procedure is used, give one example of an effective variable on which to stratify in the survey and explain your reasoning. So if you remember the difference between SRS and stratified, stratified is where you split up the people or the things into groups and then take an SRS from each group. So when you're using stratified random sample, you usually want to pick groups based on something you think might influence the results. So you can kind of see in my answer here, one possible variable could be school level. The opinions on cafeteria food could differ based on the grade level of the student. So again, if you're going to use stratified, always stratify based on some variable you think might impact the results. So if we think that students in different grade levels might have different opinions, that's why I'm going to stratify based on grade level. Part C then says, describe one statistical advantage of using a stratified random sample over a simple random sample. Okay, so you can see my solution here. There's really 2 things you could kind of touch upon here. So the first thing you could say is one advantage of using a stratified random sample is it guarantees students from each grade level will be in the sample. An SRS may not. So if you just did an SRS, you don't know. It is possible you might not get any students from a certain grade or just not very many. Okay, so it ensures that all grades or all levels are equally represented. So that's one thing you could say. Another thing you could touch upon is an advantage of using a stratified sample is that it creates groups with similar opinions on cafeteria food, and this effectively eliminates the lurking variable of grade level. So by putting the same students together in groups, it allows you to compare, students in the same grade level to each other, and then students in different grade levels to each other. So you're counting or eliminating that lurking variable of grade level. So you could have touched upon either one of those 2 things when you were answering part C. So, okay, that's it for the 2010 Form B number 2. I'll talk to you guys again soon.